He is on Nexon Tire Yellow Speed Racing Cadillac ATSV from Sonoya, Georgia. Chelsea DENOFA will lead with the gold nose. That BC Racing Ditto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D for grip. Coming to that first clip. Nice job by Chelsea DENOFA. Taylor Hull, he's tracking him down, pulling away up the hill. Chelsea comes into that second outside zone in the keyhole. You can see Taylor Hull compromising that distance to that outside zone and gaining that proximity. Is that what the judges are looking for? And brings around that last clip. Good transition. As I said, you know. Oh yeah, just the smoke bowl. Yeah, Wall just sits there like a bump on a log. Here we go. Taylor Hull out front. DENOFA in the chase position. Look at that gold nose just getting to the backside of the Intimidator. Full pole Hull looking clean. Chelsea DENOFA comes in a bit shallow. Taylor Hull throwing some gangster angle at it in that second outside zone. Coming through the keyhole. Chelsea tracking him down. Oh, gets squirrely, Chelsea DENOFA. You saw him dip that front left tire off course, throwing him out of sorts. Ryan, Chelsea DENOFA second overall in the 2020 championship. As DENOFA qualifying 16th, Hull qualifying 17th, so fairly equally matched here. A shimmy there from Hull as he initiates. Oh man, kind of overshooting it, giving him bit off a little more than he could chew there on initiation. Now coming up the hill is Chelsea DENOFA to that second outside zone. You can see a large gap between them. Chelsea could be a little bit closer on that front clip. I mean, Taylor Hull just coming now into view. And Chelsea looking pretty dialed there, Ryan. And it's not about how quickly you go through the course, but you have to hit those clipping zones, hit the points, hit all the necessary criteria. I have a feeling Taylor Hull's really going to throw it down. He knows he has an uphill battle here. And knowing Chelsea, he always turns it up. So taking out, not totally center punching that first inside clip is Taylor Hull now into the keyhole. Really good execution there. Get all the way out to that outside zone. Now coming back down the hill. Let's see how Taylor manages this. Pass the touch and go. Chelsea, look at that. Taylor in that comp cams. Number 88, his Infinity 4 Back to the Future. Bleeds into and onto his helmet. Here we go. Chelsea DENOFA, Josh Reynolds, our first battle of the top 32 here in Orlando. And look at that quickly, Chelsea DENOFA. Look at Josh Reynolds absolutely flexing on. No. And Josh Reynolds goes hard in the wall, and you can see shredding that front bumper, the back bumper of Chelsea DENOFA. He's going to continue on through the course as he does have to because he is the lead car, making that look too easy, Ryan. A lot of the fans on their feet getting hyped. But Ryan, and let's lay out and just watch our #1 qualifier. He advances on into the top 16, Chelsea DENOFA. Engine oil up, Formula Drift. Chelsea DENOFA leaving the start chicane. Type S lights are on. Travis Reeder chasing him down. Chelsea DENOFA initiates. Nice angle there from DENOFA, high on the bank. Let's see how they handle the transition. Drop it down into that first front inside clip. Travis Reeder all up in the smoke, handles it. Massive angle from Chelsea DENOFA. Set it and forget it. That center line wheel. Using a little left foot brake, massages it in. You see it on the right-hand side. The left-hand side of the drivers. Here we go, Travis Reeder initiating into that first outside zone. Reeder high, Chelsea DENOFA pacing him. Good position. Sparks go flying, wow. Absolute fireworks show underneath. DENOFA's vehicle takes that front inside clip. Ryan, we got a real battle on our hands. Reeder. What do we got? Chelsea DENOFA will lead. Travis Reeder giving chase. This one more time battle. DENOFA going in high on the bank. The Type S lights underneath the car and on the wall. Travis Reeder, some more sparks being thrown. And then into that second inside clip, both wrapping around. DENOFA getting a lot deeper than Reeder, but still good proximity from Reeder to DENOFA. Matt Field has yet to see battle because Trent Beecham had to retire early at DNS and did not start. Here goes Reeder into the bank. Reeder higher. Oh, look at that. DENOFA all over him. DENOFA showing him Hey, this is how you do it. I'm going to chase you down. Good transition there from DENOFA. Ooh, a little shallow line by both of them, actually. Reader taking the shallower line, and DENOFA a tiny bit shallower. But, wow. Look at here for the first battle of the Grade 8, the Link ECU Grade 8. Chelsea DENOFA comes out swinging, literally. Oh, some sparks go flying already. Chelsea DENOFA. Vaughn Gittin Jr. right there. We got twin RTRs on track. Transitioning through the jump. Nice job by both these guys. These guys are getting a lot of seat time. Look at this. RTR ready to rock. Make some noise. Here we go. Lindsey Ross, I know you're watching. Who you're cheering for? That's the question, though. RTR. It's an all RTR battle for Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Chelsea DENOFA. Ford Performance. Dropping in, coming in hot, throwing sparks. Oh, Chelsea comes in. Comes out swinging. Woo! Doctor, are you kidding me? Look at this. To the moon. Boom goes the bumpers. Unfolds in the center portion of this track. Send it, fellas. Here we go. DENOFA and Bakshis. Odie and Chelsea. Chelsea DENOFA high on the bank. Look at that. You're seeing Odie just get inch closer and closer to the side of that Ford Mustang. And there it is. Odie Bakshis going in for the kill. So it does go in pretty tight. Does center punch that second inside flip. And look at that. DENOFA pulling away, gripping up that side.
Tire field suspension. Sylvia is.
All right, here we go. Send it. Odie out front. DENOFA in the chase position. Oh, look at this. This is what we're talking about. So Odie, good angle. But now talking about Itchy. Oh, wow, look at that. Odie Bakshis hanging out there for quite a bit. And there goes DENOFA going in, sweeping the leg. And there goes DENOFA, gets to the side of Odie Bakshis and brings it home, a little rubbing on the door. DENOFA and Osmo, send it. Here we go. The finals are set. DENOFA throwing it into the bank. Osmo chasing him down. These guys. Oil schmoil, no big deal. Here we go, down into the power alley. Sparks go flying. Frederick Osmo transitioning past him. Look at, good job by Chelsea DENOFA out front. A little bit of a gap separation here from DENOFA and Osmo. And the battle of all Nitto Tire final as Chelsea DENOFA, the BC Racing Nitto Tire, Ford Performance Mustang RTR, ready to rally, send it into the big bank. Sparks go flying, and look at Chelsea DENOFA. Jumps to the side of Frederick Osmo. Right there, Sparks once again jumps up to the side. Massive angle from Chelsea DENOFA in the chase position. Hunting him down. The Norwegian hammer gets sweated by DENOFA. Shots fired on the door. By the skin of his Nitto tires. It's an all Nitto Tire battle. Chelsea DENOFA, Adam Elsie for the first battle here at E-Town in the Pro Championship in New Jersey. Chelsea DENOFA throws in and Adam LZ trying to chase him out. These guys good friends. They've made video content before. Now coming into that second outside zone, filling all of that 180-degree turn. Chelsea DENOFA with a slight little bobble, a little correction there as the slow trickle coming and approaching that first front clip. And now they're going to transition down into that final outside zone, which is menacing because that wall is very unforgiving. We saw Austin Mata get taken out earlier in the Pro Spec Championship. And a really exciting run here for both of our drivers. And now I think what's crazy is we're at a new track. We're at a brand new track, and we are at in wet conditions that we haven't seen. So Adam LZ leads. Chelsea DENOFA gives chase that first outside zone. Here goes Adam LZ into that second outside zone. And now transitioning into, look at that, Chelsea DENOFA right there on the door with him. Adam LZ ripping through in that LZ S15. Now slowly crawling around that front inside clip. Some corrections there from LZ, and now into Chelsea DENOFA. LZ, ooh, getting that wheel speed up, and just, like I said, look how E-Town playing host to round 3 of the Formula Jet Pro Championship. DENOFA out front, Sorensen chasing him down. And there we go, Chelsea DENOFA bringing it into the wet. You got to think him living up in the PDX, talking about Portland. He's got a school drift where he teaches a lot of kids in the wet, and there goes DENOFA. You got to think from his first run against LZ, he's going to change that setup up. Right there. Yeah, look at that. Sorensen right in the mix, that 212 BMW into that final outer zone. Oh, slow motion with me. Slow motion for me. There we go. Yeah, yep. All right, here we go. So Brandon Sorensen out front, Chelsea DENOFA in that chase position. Let's see how Sorensen does out front with the clean air, not getting the spritz in his face. Now changing it back into that second outer zone. Big angle there from Sorensen, looking fairly similar to what Chelsea did on that second outer zone. Ooh, looks like losing some parts, but Sorensen hanging in that outside zone. Ooh, overshoots that front clip. And now into that final outer zone. Sorensen gaining a lot of wows from these guys. Some contact made between Chelsea. Here we go. DENOFA and Turk, our first battle of the Grade 8. All right, here comes that BC Racing Ditto tire. Both these guys on Ditto tire, speaking of Dittos. Into that first outside zone. Getting that long shot, filling all of that first outside zone, and then into the second. There goes DENOFA. Again, most recent winner, like you said, undefeated all the way from Orlando. Just kicking things off, our #1 qualifier, making it a perfect event. Look at Ryan Turk right there. Looks like he's gonna left punch that front inside clip. And now into that final, oh, and that, I hope you, and here we go. So let's see how they handle this. You saw Chelsea DENOFA kind of pedal back a little bit. Looks like he's got the grip in the car. As Ryan Turk look at Chelsea. Woo! Oh, buddy.
What was the over-under on that?
Here we go. Send it. Our first battle here in Pennsylvania. Jonathan Castro will lead that Jadot Metal Dom. 86, and Chelsea DENOFA gets the side of it. But look at that. Castro does not back down. No big deal for Castro. Does drop down a little bit there. But you got to think, was that caused by DENOFA? Now going to that second outside zone. Castro drops that back left tire, no problem for him, into that third outside zone. And riding into the multiple white stripe lines. And all the way through that final outside zone. A great way to start it. All right. Well, hopefully on just those short runs, not only for the drivers, but also the spotters. The spotters taking notes on how they drove in the wet compared to the dry today. Chelsea DENOFA throws it up against the wall. Not literally, as he does keep it high, but he does keep it physically off the wall. Now dropping into that second outside zone. A lot of smoke. Castro jumps in on the inside. Now he travels back. He pulls that rear end of that 86. Oh, and Castro spins out. That is definitely going to hurt him. As Chelsea DENOFA brings it through, he does punch that cone out of the way, but the judges talked about that. It's all pending on where your tire is, not if you hit the cone, because Royal Purple Top 16, send it! Here we go, Adam LZ, Chelsea DENOFA, ideal situation. Let's see who comes out with the ideal scenario. Adam LZ initiates into that bank, drop it down quite a bit, but then you see Chelsea DENOFA catching up to him. Adam LZ with good transition now going to that outside zone too. Remember, this is his first head-to-head battle here this weekend. Keeps great posture there now into that final outside zone 3. Digs a little deeper. Chelsea DENOFA falls, and you can see him massage that Ford Mustang right to the side of both these guys running on BC Racing suspension across. Here we go. Kazuya Taguchi, our first battle of the Grade 8. Kazuya Taguchi and Chelsea DENOFA. Kazuya initiates in that first outside zone. And Chelsea DENOFA giving himself some room. Let's see how Kazuya handles this. Up garage, ISR 86. Now into that second outside zone. Kazuya Taguchi absolutely delivering this track. Really favoring his driving style. And all the way through that final outside zone. In the chase position. BC Racing Ditto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Chelsea DENOFA initiates. Great angle from Chelsea DENOFA. Now Chelsea flexing his muscles out front. Kazuya had a great lead run, but Chelsea was maybe tempering the flame as now they go that second outside zone. Transition that final outside zone goes Chelsea. There's that bumper budget that the RTR team always talks about. Chelsea DENOFA clicking another bank. He is your points leader, DENOFA. Look at that long run up there. He knows he's got some horsepower on deck. Here we go, boys. This should be one for the ages here at Lake Erie Speedway. Look at that, Chelsea DENOFA nosing in, not mimicking that angle, but definitely has the proximity. Let's see how he handles it coming that second outside zone. Matfield dives in, Chelsea DENOFA mirroring him right there. Nice little glancing across the nose of Chelsea DENOFA and bringing around that last and final outside zone. Woo-wee! Told you it's going to be a good one.
In the spirit of drifting, but you don't want to kind of get all these different analytics.
So here we go. Chelsea DENOFA out front. Matt Field in chase position. Oh, buddy. Matt Field goes for it. Chelsea DENOFA looking a lot more settled, more angle, but Field, watch this. He's going to come in here on the second. Oh, and there was the crease playing another role, and he's really deep in that smoke. Matt Field way offline as DENOFA continues through the course. Oh, and Matt Field. Here's the BC Racing Ditto Tires Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D, and your winner of round 4 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Here at Lake Erie Speedway, I'll lay out and listen to the celebratory drift machine. Oh, look at that. So he's running a little backed up there. This is a big one right here, kids. Here we go. Odie Bakshi's Chelsea DENOFA. Again, 2 championship contenders. Look at the massive angle here from Odie Bakshi's Chelsea DENOFA. Back there quite a bit, coming up high on the bank. Could be a little bit higher there for both the drivers. As now they exit down into the power alley. Chelsea DENOFA. Look at that, barely going past the gold nose of that Ford Mustang. Odie Bakshi's tightening up to that front flip. Now coming to that last and final outside zone. Come on, Seattle. Woo! Wow.
Yeah. And is it better overall, to have the tire in the chase position in Chelsea's favor?
Here we go, Chelsea DENOFA up top on the bank, taking a higher line. Look at Odie Bakshi's. He jumps forward. He's bathed in smoke right now. And now coming down into the power alley comes Chelsea DENOFA. Odie Bakshi's right there. Oh, does he allow? Look at it. Oh, we got contact. Massive contact. And the lights are extinguished. You can see Chelsea DENOFA with that staggered setup, giving himself a little bit of a run up here. Like that approach, but don't know if it's going to pay off because look at this. Oh, and just as I say that, he reels him in. Oh, wow, a big straightening there from Chelsea DENOFA. Quick little correction there, a bobble. Now in that second outside zone into the third, and Chelsea DENOFA does not look 100%. It looks just a little bit off, just by a scotch, just by a hair. Now in that final outside zone. Little Southern style living while in Tokyo. Cleet, are you watching? Shout out Bad Chad and Cletus McFarlane, you guys are watching as well. Here we go, Chelsea DENOFA, Trent Beecham. All right, Chelsea's like, dude, what's going on here? Let's throw down. But he's still not 100%, just thrown off a little bit here. But Beecham, he drops down lower on the bank, coming down now into the power alley. Oh, Beecham really exceeding the edge of the track. Maybe a bit frantic. That's going to be an incomplete for Beecham. And man, Chelsea was looking nose to nose with the other Mustang.
Somebody made a comment because he went off course in the last outside zone. It's like,
nope, didn't win.
That's not an incomplete.
Well, here it is. Let's lay out. Listen to the BC Racing Ditto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D of Chelsea DENOFA. Touring items type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. Here we go, send it! Dylan Hughes, Chelsea DENOFA, our first battle of the Final Four. That Permatex Fast and Orange 2J BMW out front. Chelsea DENOFA chased him down the gold nose into his rearview mirror. Now coming down into that power alley. Let's see how they handle Chelsea DENOFA right there, transitioning down with that third outside zone. DENOFA slides right into the door, but not making contact in that final outside zone. DENOFA digs deep. He's a gold digger, baby. To play spoiler here. And you know who's rooting for him? Matt Field. Here we go. Chelsea DENOFA, BC Racing Ditto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5. Chelsea DENOFA initiates into the bank. Dylan Hughes drops back quite a bit. He's going to need to gain some ground for what we've seen previously from these drivers. A little bit of a lower line there from the dozer. Now into that third outside zone goes Chelsea DENOFA. Dylan Hughes not maxing and mirroring that angle of DENOFA, and Dylan Hughes brings it on through. Here we go.
In this event.
Turn it up, send it! Chelsea DENOFA is your winner here, round 5 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. that BC Racing Ditto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D. Celebratory run for Chelsea DENOFA.
Incomplete.
An incomplete run.
That's great.
So as Chelsea DENOFA makes his way around the track, showing you that an interesting technique.
3 wins, man. I mean, this is James Dean-esque. This is James Dean-esque. And it's come under very auspicious circumstances, let's say.
And auspicious.
And it's not anything close to undeserved. It is
That chase car can't jump the light. Now Chelsea DENOFA takes off through that start chicane. Here comes Chelsea DENOFA. Right there on that outside edge. Type S lights are on. Now coming into that inside clip, literal has a correction, some straightening there, approaching that third outside zone. Bumper budget Chelsea here. Just using it up. I think he can use it all up for the first time. There we go. Ryan Literal leaving the line through the chicane. Now into that outside zone. Look at there, Chelsea DENOFA applying pressure. Flying that Army flag. Oh, look at that. Chelsea DENOFA with a correction there. Oh, and look at that. Looks like Literal makes one as well. Just getting out of that outside zone 3. Both of them filling that outside zone 4. Chelsea DENOFA will lead, and Michael Essa will give chase. Chelsea DENOFA, BC Racing, Ditto Tire, Ford Performance Mustang RTR, the FCP Euro, Liquid Molly, BMW in tow. Big angle from Chelsea DENOFA. Man, cotton balls coming out of the back of that Ford Mustang. Big angle. Look at the cockpit of Essa filled up. And then into that third outside zone, DENOFA, a rocket ship. Oh, man, he goes deep. That was similar to the line of GTP we saw. Gets it going. And Michael Essa will lead. Essa out of the chicane. Here comes Chelsea DENOFA. Initiates the same time. Oh, wow. Look at the pressure from DENOFA. Oh, is that going to pay off? Is that going to pay off? Oh, we got contact. Houston, we got a problem. DENOFA, we got a problem. And
Osbo's championship in the final battle.
you're right. You're right. All right, here we go. Speaking of RTR, Chelsea DENOFA, Eve Meyer coming to us from Switzerland. And here we go. Chelsea DENOFA initiating the BC Racing Ditto Tire, Ford Performance Mustang RTR. Spec 5, yo, bumper budget. Woo, Eve Meyer, look at that, he goes deep. Chelsea DENOFA second, but right now leading the charge. Ooh, taking out that cone. Again, that cone just coming into play. The clean air with that Drift Force BMW operated by the Drift Cave. Eve Meyer, a newcomer to the Formula Drift Championship. Let's see what you got. Looks like he's giving himself a little bit of room there, Chelsea DENOFA. Doesn't get all the way out to that first outside zone. A little shallow there, allowing Chelsea to have that proximity. Bring it on into the touch and go and wraps it around that front clip. Chelsea showing you on Chelsea's vehicle. And away they go. All right, here we go. Yeah, throwing, shots fired. Coming into that touch and go. Let's see how DENOFA handles it. Gets really tight. The bumper tapped under the bridge. That first outside zone, getting the zone, auto zone. The second outside zone. Look at that. Jonathan Hurst right there, the Cash Racing G37. Great Jonathan Hurst out front, the G37. Jonathan Hurst got a clean start, no restart here. Chelsea DENOFA, what is going to be the fate? What is the destiny of Chelsea DENOFA? Currently second in points. Oh, Hursty. Hammer, don't Hurst him. Oh, man, looping it. Woo! Oh. That could have been a cleanup on aisle. Wreck both cars and let Chelsea get the win. Well, hey, guess what, Long Beach? You're in store for one heck of a battle. Let's send it! Chelsea DENOFA initiates. Vaughn Gate Jr. Oh, Doctor, look at that! 2 Mustangs, mano a mano. The ponies are racing. It's a stampede. Oh! Woo! What did you say? Yeah! Oh, my goodness. So,
I mean, what that means, it's bad for DENOFA, obviously,
100%.
But one judge is going to be locked in. Both
Here we go.
judges are going to be locked into something specific.
Here we go. Vaughn Gate Jr. out front, Chelsea DENOFA. Again, currently second in points, Chelsea DENOFA. Vaughn Gate Jr. now transitions. Chelsea DENOFA transitions. A little bit off of that first outside zone. Vaughn Kent Jr., Chelsea now bringing on home around that final front clip. Here comes Chelsea DENOFA. Oh! And Chelsea spins. That's it. That's going to be it. So DENOFA in contention for a championship. Let's lay out and listen to the purring of this BC Racing Ditto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR Spec 5D of Chelsea DENOFA. Let's see what we got here. Who's moving on to the Great Eight? Essa or DENOFA? Michael Essa initiates. Really, that rate to angle, solid there from Essa. But look at DENOFA. You see him lunge forward, but he's not mimicking the angle. Does gain that proximity. Wow, very close. Just barely letting him pass by in front of him. Into that second outside zone, Ryan. Essa filling all of it. DENOFA, again, great proximity. He's nosing in. DENOFA with 3 victories this year, 3 wins. Essa, that caused him to check up, which Vaughn went to the side of him, all joking aside. But I'm telling you right now, expect a really wild run here from Chelsea DENOFA.
You seem like a guy that's watched a lot of drifting.
Yeah, I have. I watched a little bit. Here we go, Chelsea DENOFA, big angle there. Big angle from Chelsea DENOFA, the BC Racing Ditto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR, ready to route it in that second outside zone. Chelsea DENOFA, dragging bumper on the wall. Now in that final outside zone, smoking those Ditto tires. Big angle for him. Tapping the brakes. Congratulations. Right now, let's see who moves on to the Great Eight. Michael Essa, Chelsea DENOFA. One more time battle. Leaving it all out on track. Here we go. Michael Essa, quick little quiver of that front wheel, but look at Chelsea DENOFA jump to the side of Essa, and now coming to that second outside zone. Wow, look how deep Chelsea DENOFA is digging himself into that. Oh, we got tire-to-tire contact. Chelsea DENOFA comes unwound. That is not where you want to hit.
DENOFA tapped him. He pushed Essa's car actually on the right part of the course through that inside.
We saw that earlier with Kazuya Taguchi as well. All right, here we go. Now Chelsea DENOFA goes into the big bank. Michael Essa. Oh, doctor, look at that. DENOFA riding the wall. Essa right there. Remember, DENOFA is fighting for a championship. Is he going to show up? The Type S lights are on, and so is the smoke signals. But what is it saying about DENOFA and his line? Essa right there, a former champ, fighting back against Chelsea DENOFA. The bumper budging. Keep the lights up and keep the House of Drifts lit. Here as Michael Essa, FCP Euro, Liquid Molly, BMW comes down the pipe. Chelsea DENOFA, they're in tow for the third one more time. Chelsea DENOFA nosing in. Light up the track. Wheel to wheel, rubber to rubber. Transitioning past the inside clip. Into that second outside zone goes Essa and DENOFA. Burn him to earn him. Risk it for the biscuit. Past that second inside clip. Chelsea DENOFA falls back a little bit. Big snappy angle from Michael Essa. Looks like it grips up. And DENOFA spins. Down. Points at stake. Championship on the line. Osbo's in the final 4. Who's advancing on into the Great Eight? We're still at 16 with these two gentlemen. Chelsea DENOFA initiates. Medium high on the bank. Works his way up top. Essa, not as much angle, but now goes to the side of him. Past that front inside clip. Into the second outside zone. DENOFA dragging bumper. And Essa trying to catch him. And then into that final outside zone. Lifting that front right tire is Chelsea DENOFA. And very well could be the battle of the night. Fighting for the championship, bragging rights. Here we go. DENOFA in that field. Tip to tail. Go to that first outside zone. DENOFA throws some angle at. Taps the wall. Matfield slides into position. Right there's a dogfight. Past that inside clip goes DENOFA.
Now in the second outside zone goes DENOFA. Now Field. And into that second front flip. Field has the proximity, not exactly the angle. And falls back a little bit there. And Field shores up of the story. Clean start, here we go. Matt Field, Chelsea DENOFA. Matt Field throws it in. Good angle, throw some more at it. Look at that, dragging bumper! Whoa, look at that. Now pass. Oh, Chelsea DENOFA dives into the wrong side of that inside clip. That's a major mistake by DENOFA. We haven't seen it all night. But now he backs it in, backs into that bumper once again with a lack thereof. Matt Field could see himself into the Final Four. Make some noise!